Hello and welcome back to another edition of Autotech Review, and today we have with us the 10th generation Honda Civic. The Civic is back in India after it got discontinued in 2012. We have the 2019 version of the Honda Civic with us, and we are going to tell you everything there is to know about it, so stay tuned. So the Honda Civic now comes in a very aerodynamic and sleek design. This 10th generation model is based on a new platform which Honda has introduced. India previously saw the 8th generation model and it skipped one generation, that is the 9th generation, and we have the 10th generation back in India being manufactured here in India. And as you can see, it's got a very notchback kind of a design, plenty of chrome elements and bling. There's a lot of drama on the sides as well, in these character lines on the shoulder and even in the lower region of the car. You have 17-inch alloys on offer. Honda will be offering the Civic with a 1.8 litre petrol engine. It's a naturally aspirated engine, as well as a 1.6 litre diesel ID.Tech engine. We will tell you about both these vehicles. So Honda has implemented their LED headlamps in the front, and you have DRLs as well as fog lamps. You are also offered a pilot lamp on the side over here, and you have these 17-inch alloys that feature a lot of chrome. The alloys, of course, do have a design which is distinctive of a hybrid vehicle. However, this is not a hybrid vehicle, at least for the times to come. Over to the rear, you have a notchback kind of a design. The silhouette is very sleek, and Honda says they have improved aerodynamics as well on the new Civic. And Honda has really rounded up the design in the rear very well. You have these split tail lamps, LED tail lamps again, a decent amount of chrome on the badging in the lower lip as well. Would have really loved if this Honda logo was in black on this pearl white color, which of course does look phenomenal. So the all new 10th generation Honda Civic has a lot of elements which definitely give it a distinct identity. You have the bold chrome badge in the front, which is housed in a Honda distinctive wing design. Plenty of chrome elements in the front, on the sides, as well as the rear. We'll also talk about what Honda is offering on the interiors. So on the inside as well, there is a lot of drama as usual, and with the 8th generation Civic, the Honda Civic was distinctive when it was introduced in 2006. Stepping over to 2019, there is a lot more that Honda has done on the interiors as well. Black and beige theme overall, but it is distinctively Honda. You have a unique new front MID display that is reminiscent of the unit that is on the new Honda CR-V. 3-spoke steering wheel with multifunctionality, push button start stop, keyless entry, and also remote ignition, which is also offered on the Honda Accord. Now Honda is offering the Civic Petrol with a CVT automatic transmission and plenty of other kit. On offer is dual zone climate control, automatic climate control as well. You have a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment unit, and this can be paired with your Android and Apple CarPlay mobile devices. You also have paddle shifters on offer, and Honda is offering the option of also giving you the contacts from your mobile device in the MID display. This is a digital console, and the speedometer as well as the RPM gauge. The RPM gauge here is analog, while the speedo is a digital unit. Honda is also offering an electronic parking brake that is very handy to have in traffic jams as well as bumper to bumper traffic. Plenty of cubby holes and storage spaces. You have this center armrest, which is a slidable unit. You can also open it, of course, and slide it back in case you want to access something in here that is pretty cavernous. Bottle holder as well. You have bottle holders in the doors and plenty of space to store any knickknacks and goodies in the doors as well. A remote release for the boot, and you also have an area to store your mobile devices. Again, a large device as well can easily be stored out here. A very spacious glove box. You have vanity mirrors for the driver as well as the co-driver, and of course not to forget a sunroof up top. However, this is not a panoramic sunroof, but it does the job of giving a very airy feeling inside the cabin. Now, really good use of materials. You have this matte finish on the dash, plenty of brushed aluminium bits, leather as well, a soft to touch steering wheel. You have these are plastic panels. The plastic quality is quite good. This is again soft to touch, leatherette here, perforated leather seats to keep you comfortable even in warm situations. You also have an economy mode which you can switch on over here and save on fuel. Now the seats are, well, quite comfortable to sit on, and Honda is offering an 8-way adjustment for the driver's seat. This is an electronic adjustment, but it's only available for the driver's seat and not for the co-driver's seat. Good amount of bolstering on the sides as well, and a good amount of bolstering right here, so you're very well ensconced in the seat and you have a good point of view out of the road. Honda is also offering a tilt and telescopic adjustment for their steering column, and yeah, it is adjustable for rake as well as for reach. So the second row as well is quite spacious. I haven't adjusted this seat. For reference, my height is 5'6", and plenty of knee room, plenty of room to stretch out, great amount of under thigh support and great amount of back support as well. Again, these seats have been designed to fit 4 adults very comfortably. The floor tunnel is a little intrusive, so someone sitting in the middle may feel a little uncomfortable. Honda is also offering rear air conditioning vents, but you don't get USB charging slots out there. Plenty of storage spaces in the doors as well as cup holders in the armrest right here. Fairly large window coat hooks as well, and of course grab handles again with coat hooks, lights and adjustable rear head restraints. So quite comfortable, good view of the front. The sunroof really isn't effective for the rear passengers, but yes, it is definitely a comfortable cabin. Looks very posh, looks very suave, and I am actually liking sitting in the back row of the new Honda Civic. So Honda is offering a one-touch boot release in the rear, and you have a 430-litre boot. The loading lip is not too high, so you can easily slide your luggage in. Plenty of room for your weekend getaway luggage. You also have a wide-angle camera in the rear. So you're driving the 1.8-litre iVTEC engine on the Honda Civic. The 1.8-litre engine produces approximately 141 PS of power, peaking at 6500 RPM, and 174 Newton meters of torque, peaking at 4300 RPM. This engine is a 4-cylinder naturally aspirated unit, comes with a single overhead cam layout, and the naturally aspirated engine is only available with an automatic CVT transmission. Now the Civic is very smooth to drive if you are on highways or if you are in city driving conditions. The Civic is quite comfortable to drive. The build-up of power is very linear and very gradual. Honda has done a good job on the NVH front. However, the noise that is associated with this CVT transmission being mated to the petrol engine, of course, does seep into the cabin. However, once you floor down, there is that distinct humming noise of the 4-cylinder engine. Honda is also offering paddle shifters, so you have the sequence setup, and of course you can have a spot of fun with the paddle shifters. There is also a sports mode, so you just drop it down, the engine becomes a little more responsive. The steering has been weighted really well and is quite sporty, so if you are on winding and twisting roads, you're going to have a lot of fun with the new Honda Civic. Honda has also improved the torsional rigidity of the Civic, and they have done a good job with the suspension in the rear. You have a torsion beam multi-link in the rear, and the suspension is specifically tuned for India. The Honda Civic rides very well over most potholes and bumps, and what Honda has done is They have improved the recoil once you go over speed breakers, so you don't get that jerk. Honda has also increased the ground clearance on the Civic for the India spec model, and the overhangs as well, so you have about 15 mm in the rear and about 20 mm in the front, which has been added to the ground clearance. So right now we're over a patch of broken roads, but as you can see, we don't get tossed around too much inside this cabin, and the suspension really soaks up those bumps and jolts rather well. Of course, seat height adjustment is also available, so you do have a good driver point of view over these roads, and very well ensconced inside these seats. Now, the braking setup on the new Honda Civic is a disc brake in the front, disc brake in the rear, ABS with EBD, and a lot of safety features as well, which we will mention going further. The Honda Civic definitely performs very well in terms of panic braking conditions, and it is a very, very comfortable sedan to drive. So in terms of safety, Honda is offering 6 airbags on the new Civic. You also get hill start assist and vehicle stability control. Honda is also offering an emergency brake lighting setup, and you get 4 parking sensors in the rear. So Honda has also added their blind spot camera on the left ORVM, and you press the button on the right side lever, it shows up on the left. Even when you indicate towards the left, the camera shows up your blind spot, and you have clear visibility. Very essential to have, especially in bumper to bumper traffic or while driving at speeds on highways. This is the same setup as the Honda CR-V. The visibility from the camera as well is great, and you have a wide angle view from the rear camera as well. Those 4 parking sensors along with that make it quite easy to park in tight parking spots. Now, Honda is also giving you the option of switching off traction control on the Civic, and if you do want to drive in a sporty manner, you can switch off traction control and have a little more fun with the Civic. The vehicle holds very well over high speeds and is quite planted. Even in excess of 100 kmph, you definitely feel in control. The steering weighs up quite well at high speeds also. Wind noise, road noise is rather less, so again, a fabulous job done by Honda on the NVH front. The ORVMs give a clear visibility and a decent amount of visibility from the rear. However, I wish there was more. Automatic headlamps and automatic rain sensing wipers are also on offer. You have an auto dimming IRVM as well, which helps in night driving conditions. So the overall package on the petrol version of the Civic, I would rate it at 8.5 stars on 10. Excellent performance. The overall package is complete and checks the right boxes. So we're driving the diesel powered ID Tech Honda Civic. This comes with a 1.6 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged diesel engine. The diesel is quite a peppy motor to drive, especially because it is a forced induction motor. So the turbo spool comes in pretty early. Peak torque comes in at 2000 RPM, peak torque of 300 Newton meters, and peak power stands at 120 PS. That comes in at 4000 RPM. If you like driving a turbocharged vehicle, then the Honda Civic with the 1.6 litre engine is quite adequate and definitely gets the job done well. The rumble of the diesel engine does seep into the cabin, but that's alright. NVH still is not that bad, so it's not something that's detrimental or which you would not enjoy while driving this diesel powered vehicle. Fuel efficiency figures for the diesel stand at 26 plus kmpl, and for the petrol stand at 16 plus kmpl. So the diesel is definitely more efficient. However, the petrol does put out a little more power. Now, the clutch action is rather light, so it is pretty comfortable to drive in bumper to bumper traffic as well. The throw of the gears is short and the gearbox is nice and crisp. So the diesel engine has been mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. Honda is saying that there is no automatic on offer right now, but that may come in the future. Unlike the Honda CR-V that comes in with a 9-speed torque converter from ZF, the Honda Civic does not feature a automatic transmission. On highways, cruising in the diesel as well will be fun. Overtakes do take a little bit of time, but you get there eventually, and if you want to really get going in a hurry, you floor the accelerator down, the response is quite good. So very punchy. You don't really get thrown back in your seat, but yes, the diesel is definitely a little more peppy to drive. But if you like petrol, then the linear acceleration in the Civic petrol with the 1.8 liter naturally aspirated motor is a smooth ride and also a little better performing. Now, especially on turns and corners, because of the added stiffness to the frame and the chassis, the control that is rendered in this vehicle is a lot better than previous generation models, and Honda has said that lateral stiffness as well as torsional rigidity has been improved on the new Civic. So for this diesel, I would give it a 7.5 on 10. I really like the peppy motor. However, a little bit of a struggle on overtakes. Otherwise, yes, the diesel is also fun to drive. Well, that's it from our side, ladies and gentlemen. This is the all-new Honda Civic. Honda expects to bring it into the Indian market between 18 to 24 lakhs. Of course, we will await the official prices once the vehicle is launched in India. If you have any queries or questions for us, do hit us up in the comment section below. And if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the Auto Tech Review channel for all the latest action from the automotive industry. Until the next time, see you later.